Good evening and welcome to Superscreen News at 6, reaching you live from Lagos. I am Olamide Onwuka. Many thanks for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari began his two-day official visit to Lagos State today with the unveiling of ultra-modern Ikeja bus terminal designed to redefine public transportation in line with the bus reform initiative of the state government. The president, accompanied to the facility by the Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode and other government functionaries, lauded the state government for various initiatives aimed at catering for movement of the growing population of the state and making modern buses available to the people. The president particularly commended Governor Ambode for his developmental strides in the past 3 years, saying the projects were indeed laudable. The House of Representatives has disputed claims of a publication alleging that members of the House collected $30,000 each to change the sequence of the 2019 general elections. This follows a point of order raised by Dambaram Nuhu during Wednesday's sitting, where the lawmakers described the allegation as one aimed at discrediting the House as an institution.
Mr. Speaker, they said we've been given $30,000 to change the sequence of the election. But the question to ask is, given bribe to change election sequence by who? In whose interest is it to change the sequence of the election? Mr. Speaker, when these people are talking, blah, 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 that the president has refused assent, that we are going to veto it, I don't know. Is vetoing it not part of the power given to us by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? If we are to veto it, are we doing something that is against the Constitution of this country? Oh, I'm worried the way these newspapers just write stories.
Other members who spoke described the allegations as a slap on the face of the parliament. Speaker of the House, Yakubu Dogara, overruled that the Ethics and Privilege Committee should investigate the matter and report back to the House for further actions.
This is an allegation coming from outside, coming from the fourth rank. And in one fell swoop, has indicted governors, indicted ministers, and indicted every single member of this House. Number two, you cannot send this to the Ethics and Privileges because every member of that committee has also been indicted. So you become a judge in your own cause. This is a matter that is ripe, Mr. Speaker, for litigation. This is a matter that is ripe for litigation. By the time you slap hefty penalties and damages on those who should otherwise be conducting what they call investigative journalism, I think we will see a stop.
We should even thank the press, because from his presentation, it's been alleged that the minister, in consort with some governors, are planning to bribe the National Assembly. Not that money has been shared.
No, they said that.
Because that was what Honorable Abante said. So if that's the issue, it's like they're raising a red flag warning to us that, look, money is coming on, and we should be careful. So really, it's the Ethics and Privileges that will look into the complaint of the matter to determine whether his privilege is being breached or the privilege of the institution has been breached. If they so decide that no privilege has been breached.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has solicited support of the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, to curb open vote buying at polling units in the country. Chairman of the Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, who made this appeal while receiving the police boss at INEC headquarters in Abuja, called on the IG to ensure democracy is not communized.
We approach the AGT and Osun governorship elections, and as we move into the 2019 general elections, to pay particular attention to this disturbing practice. We'll be happy if the police will deploy special forces, beginning with Ekiti and Osun, to ensure that what transpires at the polling units is nothing but the will of Nigerians. Only the votes cast freely by citizens will determine who wins the elections, not inducement of citizens by the use of cash at polling units during elections. I'm confident that given the level of cooperation and synergy we have with the police, this matter will be addressed.
Responding, the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, described this visit as a necessary move to ensure a violence-free poll in 2019.
We are here as a continuous consultation with the INEC in the preparation of the coming elections. Of course, I want all of us to be aware that from July and September this year, we are going to conduct some elections in Osun and Ekiti states. And these two elections this year is going to be a continuous exercise until next year, when in 2019 we are going to conduct the national election. So today I want to inform everybody that because of this continuous consultation and synergy with INEC, you are going to see our faces more at the headquarters. There are efforts obviously to synergize to ensure that we have a peaceful elections in the coming months in Nigeria.
Senator representing Yobe East, Bukar Ibrahim, says negotiation is ongoing for the release of Leah Sharibu, who is being held captive by the Boko Haram insurgents. Ibrahim disclosed this while contributing to a point of order raised by Emmanuel Boacha of Taraba South, asking the relevant security agencies to double their efforts and ensure our release. Leah Sharibu was one of the 110 students abducted by the Boko Haram terror group from their school in Dapchi on February 19th. 104 of the abducted students were later released, with 5 of them said to have died in captivity, while 15-year-old Sharibu was reportedly denied freedom on the grounds of a refusal to renounce a Christian faith. The Nigerian Army has laid to rest 11 soldiers killed by bandits at the camp in Doka village in Berningwari local government area of Kaduna State. The governor of Kaduna State, Nasser El-Rufai, also donated $500,000 each to each members of the bereaved family. Report says the soldiers are special force executing Nigerian Army's exercise Ayak Patuma, also known as Rat Race. With full military honor, the remains of the soldiers who were killed on March 20th were buried at the Commonwealth Cemetery in Kaduna State. The Nigerian Army says 3 Boko Haram terrorists have been arrested by troops of the Operation Lafia Dole in the northeastern part of the country. Director of Army Public Relations, Texas Chukwu, who disclosed this in a statement, said the terrorists Adam Yaga, Musa Kamsulum, and Abba Jidum are all from Dadarmajo in Bama local government of Borno State. Chukwu said one of the suspects, Abba Jidum, with series of gunshot wounds, confessed to have operated with the Boko Haram terrorists at fringes of Iza, Vudula, and Blakule in Bama local government area of Borno State. The suspect is undergoing preliminary investigations with 23 Brigade Provost Company. The Nigerian Army has asked Boko Haram insurgents to lay down their arms and embrace the federal government amnesty offer. Army Public Relations Officer Texas Chukwu, who disclosed this in a statement, said the Army wished to remind repentant Boko Haram members that the window of opportunity to embrace the federal government amnesty program is still open for them to surrender and lay down their weapons. Chukwu said it is also gratifying to report that the troops' morale remains high as they dominate the general area with a robust fighting patrol in continuation with the clearance operations. He said the troops of 23 Brigade under the Operation Lafia Dole had arrested 3 suspects of Boko Haram terrorists at Tungro on March 28. Primary school pupils in Lagos State have been subjected to intellectual and spelling tests and quiz competition. The pupils were brought together by the organizers of the intellectual test Oma Dictionary in Wednesday on Lagos for the competition.
The second richest man in the world, Bill Gates, on his visit to Nigeria, advised the federal government to invest more in human resources than infrastructure, an advice embraced by many scholars. Today, educationists have intensified efforts in the country at developing children's spelling ability. To further promote accurate pronunciation, spelling of words, and improve students' vocabularies, these pupils from different primary schools in Lagos State were brought under one umbrella to test their intellectual abilities.
Slipping to the pores around the body and averaging behind the beard. And mother son, looking in the shadows, clasping devil, strikes down of his victim. Nightfall comes like a dreaded disease, seeping through the pores of a healthy body and ravaging it beyond the bird. A murder son, lurking in the shadows, grasping a dagger, strikes down the helpless victim. Come and go on the several seasons. Please stay out to Baba Tree. Fellow man, please, I kindred spirit. If index is not enough for you, true, it lives to the touch where flood builds the banks, and the bats and the owls often tear in at night. Genre is spelled G-E-N-R-E.
That is correct.
Gouache is spelled G-O-U-A-C-H-E. Gouache.
That is correct.
There was once a very rich merchant who had 6 children, 3 sons, and 3 daughters. Being a man of sense, he spared no cost for their education, but gave them all kinds of masters.
There was once a very rich merchant who had 6 children, 3 sons, and 3 daughters. Being a man of sense, he spared no cost for their education, but gave them all kinds of masters.
Apart from this, there were other side attractions to make the participants happy.
I'm 8 years old and I'm feeling kind of, I want that you just be anything like that. My friends so paper, I got to go over town. And when I see them, it's really making me proud. Say yeah, yeah. Say yeah, yeah. Let's go now. Let's go now. I'm only 8 years old and I'm feeling kind of blue. I want to eat that thing I can do. My friends throw paper cans over town. And when I see them do this, it makes me frown.
The academic rap is a very, very important segment. It has taught the kids, how to express themselves. The importance of diction, appropriate pronunciation when it comes to self-expression in anything and everything you do, rap, music, wherever it is.
Organizers of the competition, Oma Dictionary, speak on the rationale behind it and equally gave the advice.
We need a platform for the children to really see the importance of good reading, and that is what Oma Dictionary Awards has done today for the children. We also have proper pronunciation. You hear people say plumber instead of plumber. You hear people say congratulations instead of congratulations. We have so many funny pronunciations. The belief is that, well, I understand the rudiments of grammar. What's pronunciation? I don't care.
We're trying to create a platform for pupils to show their skills, because we find out that speaking in the right diction is not well done in Nigeria, and so we train pupils in so many skills, and then we try to create a platform bringing them together to come and compete and see how well they've learned the skills we've actually trained them on.
I think it's something that our kids need to help brush them up and help them to speak rightly. Like it was said at the occasion, it's always encouraged that they should speak the right diction.
My piece of advice to the other pupils out there, even from other schools, is that they should try as much as possible to embrace speaking in the right diction, and that is to speak in the British accent, which is the standard English that we are to be using in Nigeria.
There is no gainsaying that any country that wants development in all ramifications must invest in sound education. And the reason is not far-fetched because human capital development will lead to national development. With competitions like this, expectations are high that Nigeria will begin to churn out future leaders that can stand the test of time. Adinike Owoye, Superscreen News.
You're watching Superscreen News at 6. We'll take a break now. When we return, it'll be time for some business stories. Stay with us. Welcome back to Superscreen News at 6, and now for some business stories. The Senate has rejected the request by the Kaduna State government for a $350 million loan from the World Bank. This rejection was based on the recommendation of the Senate Committee on Local Foreign Debt and the 3 senators from the estate. In the report, which was presented by Chairman of the committee, Senator Shehu Sani, it was recommended that the facility be disapproved as it would worsen the debt profile of the state. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami has called on cabinet ministers and heads of departments and agencies to show commitment to Nigeria's open government partnership. Malami made the appeal at the 3rd National Steering Committee meeting of the Open Government Partnership in Abuja, where he urged citizens to make conscious efforts to engage with the OGP initiatives of the federal government.
Open government partnership is about open, transparent and accountable government that displaces the possibility of corruption, which is beclouded in secrecy naturally. All levels of government, ministries, departments and agencies, and it is being indeed, it is targeted at the states and local government among others. To have in place a structure in line with international best practices on account of the fact that Nigeria is equally registered as a member of the Open Government Partnership at the international level, to operate, to put in place a framework that will now allow for the Open Government Partnership, that will now allow for transparency, that will allow for openness, that will allow for accountability of the government as far as its engagement with the citizens are concerned. So Open Government Partnership is about transparency, it's about accountability and openness of governance.
Reacting, the Minister of Communication, Adebayo Shitu, said the idea of the initiative is to make governance a transparent system where citizens can have access to information on how the government is run.
ICT journalism is a new phenomenon in Nigeria. We are just making